recorded.
Okay, so I'd like to go ahead and get started with the webinar. I just want to make sure I know everybody that's on here because not everyone's showing up with their name, but I know we do have Chris Clark on here. We have Travis. We have Josh Scott. And is there one more person on?
Yeah, it's me, Gabrielle. Oh, wait.
Oh, your
phone number is showing up, and then I'm showing up.
Okay, so you're showing up.
The number is me as well. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, maybe because I don't know. I have no clue. I was gonna guess, but I don't know.
Okay, not a problem. So we do have, little light attendance today, but not a problem. We'll work through it. I do know, Joe, he's doing his opening right now, so of course he can't be on this phone call. And then I know a lot of people do have holiday plans, going on vacation at this time. So we'll just go ahead and get started then. Thank you for those of you on here. I really appreciate it, you taking the time. Week 3 is Chamber of Commerce. So first off, for everyone who on this phone call, has joined the Chamber of Commerce, how are you liking it in comparison to BNI, what we talked about 2 weeks ago? I do know, membership at a chamber is not as strict as BNI. The dates of networking events and that kind of thing are a little more flexible. So, people might find that, a little better, fits in with their schedules more versus the BNI. How's everyone liking it so far? Has anyone attended a networking meeting yet?
This is Chris. I haven't.
I think that
Gabrielle, my opinion of BNI versus Chamber of Commerce. Hands down, I think Chamber of Commerce is better. Like you said, it's not strict. The meetings, the get-togethers seem to be more productive than the BNI. As I told you, the BNI I was in we all stood up and told everybody what we did. Keep in mind, a group of 10, so we pretty much knew everybody. And it was just a monotonous thing. Whereas a chamber, I kind of look, see who I want to introduce myself to, and then go for it. And I can match up to what I think I need or what can help me.
And you do get a little bit more out of Chamber of Commerce. Yes, the goal of both, the Chamber and the BNI is networking. But with the Chamber of Commerce, you also, there's advertising opportunities that they could give you. They do offer marketing for you on your behalf, discounts with other businesses. If there's a local printer that's part of the Chamber of Commerce and you work out some kind of business partnership, that's really great. So there are kind of other doors you can open while joining a Chamber of Commerce. Josh, I know you, for everyone who doesn't know, but Josh just moved into his territory. So, now getting out and kind of looking around and looking at different Chamber of Commerce, that kind of thing. Do you have any questions in regards to, choosing the right one that these folks here can help answer for you?
No, not really. I've already got one in mind, so I'm going to hit that Monday morning, as well as the BNI. So it just kind of got tight at the end of this week. I just got here yesterday, so
Just settling in.
Yep.
Yeah, so just kind of look in your territory, and for those that have multiple territories, it would be good to pick, a BNI in one area and a Chamber of Commerce in another part of your territory, a different zip code or something, just so you're meeting more businesses and it's not the same people at your chamber as well as your BNI. Another thing that Chamber of Commerce also offer, and I'm not sure if anyone's considered this yet, but they do hold, sometimes included with your membership, they can hold a ribbon cutting ceremony for you. So if you are interested in that, just kind of shoot me an email or something and I can help set that up with the organizer, but it really is a good opportunity. They're very simple. Usually the Chamber of Commerce kind of just runs it for you, but it's a good way to increase that brand awareness, let the community know that you are open for business, especially those that just came in the November class. It might be good, to do something right in the start of January 2020, maybe a ribbon cutting ceremony. They typically promote it on their Facebook page. So just another kind of, feel good, I'm open for business kind of thing. So, Travis, I'm not sure if you chose to go with a ribbon cutting ceremony, but do you know if they offer that in your Chamber of Commerce?
Was that for me?
Yes.
I did not, and I do not believe they do. At least
Okay.
during the discussion, it's never been brought up.
Okay, yeah, sometimes it's part of membership and, other times it's not. That's
Here's my question for you.
sure.
As a lawn doctor, how do you have a ribbon cutting ceremony? I mean, I work out of my garage in my van, so how do you do it?
Right. So that's actually a very common question. There are a lot of businesses that don't have storefront properties. So they either host it, the Chamber of Commerce would host it at maybe the local library or something like that. They do have a spot, a municipal building, where they host, chamber ribbon cutting ceremonies for people who don't have a storefront property. So there is certainly ways to work around that.
Yeah, we've done several ribbon cutting ceremonies at different chambers, and they will do it right in the office. And depending on how big the area or town is, sometimes the mayor or somebody will even be there. It's a great photo op. But yeah, that's easily worked around.
Okay, and I think we have the Matinkas just joined and Frank as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Except
Hi,
I'm
guys.
having a hell of a time hearing you.
Oh, it's not going well, the audio?
No, it's just barely hear what's going on.
Okay.
So.
Is anyone else having difficulties? Okay, and as always, I'm sorry about that, Frank, but they are recorded, so I will send it out to everybody, just so, if you are having trouble hearing me. And then don't forget, down in the left hand, there is that chat box. If you have a question you want to ask, I can answer it out loud, and hopefully the audio gets a little clearer. Okay, so let's jump to the next slide. I just want to talk about now the task at hand in regards to Chamber of Commerce. Those are those one-on-one business meetings, very similar to the B&I. Very important that, each week, don't forget that as we introduce a new tactic, you are going to want to still, be executing all the other tactics we've talked about so far. So we have talked about Google reviews and B&Is, and now we're adding in Chamber of Commerce. So these are weekly tasks. Just because we have, Weber on them, please don't forget about them. And then also I really want, I'm just asking for one per week. And really the objective of this weekly touch-based phone call is just to make sure that you don't get off track. By the end of the year, we're going to have 20 of these meetings with Chamber of Commerce members. That's going to be your goal. And if you do them once a week, it really doesn't add up. I don't want anyone to fall behind and kind of miss a week, because then you're constantly catching up. So for those of you, in the green and that were able to meet with a one-on-one member, you kind of just want to walk us through what that looks like. How did you introduce yourself to the other business? Where'd you guys go? What'd you guys talk about? Anything you accomplished, that kind of thing.
Okay, this is Chris. I'll start it off. Basically, I met with a chamber member who was actually going to be my CPA. We just discussed what to expect, what it's like, how each meet and greet goes, and what she particularly has gotten out of the chamber since she's been in it, which has been over 20 years. She actually probably said she gets more out of B&I than she does a chamber now, because she just time commitment is dedicated to other things.
Okay. Yeah. Where did you guys go? Anywhere in particular? What was the setting?
We basically just met in her office at the conclusion of our discussion about my CPA, dealings with it, and we just kind of transitioned over into just talking about the chamber and everything.
Okay. Was there anything, you said she was in it for 20 years. Did she give any recommendations of, how to get the most out of your membership, or what kind of events? Maybe she suggested any events you should be looking into?
She really recommended the meet and greets that they have occasionally, which for me and my chamber, they're not having any type of meeting for new chamber committee or members until February. So there's actually a meet and greet for the holidays next week that she suggested I go to, and just, mingle around and introduce whoever I want to,
And the good thing about the Chamber of Commerce, they do, the BNI one is once a week, and maybe it's a little more, but these Chamber of Commerce meetings, they do try to make them a little fun. I'm seeing a lot of holiday ones, or, if you meet at the beach, that type of thing. So I think they try to make it a little more laid back setting, a little more casual, so you're more comfortable and you're kind of building those relationships first, and then you can talk business, that kind of thing. So I personally think it's a little more exciting than the BNI.
Yeah, she said they can be kind of cliquish, because they've been meeting for a long period of time. So you just got to wiggle your way in there and just kind of meet people, So.
That's great. Anybody else? Any other meetings that they've completed this week that they want to talk about?
Well, Ken and I went to a Chamber of Commerce Christmas party last night, and that was kind of fun. And at first, it seemed like it was very cliquish. Everybody's there. Everybody there has known everybody for a minimum of 10 years. Most people have been there for 20 plus years. But because we were also new, we did end up having quite a few people come up and talk to us and give us like their recommendations, and took our cards. We got their cards, and they're also having a BNI on Wednesday morning, and so we're going to see a bunch of them on Wednesday morning as well. So it was fun.
BNI. Yeah.
Pardon?
And you also got the BNI there as well. So you learned about that. That's really good.
And we know people that are in the BNI, so it won't be so awkward.
Yeah. That's great. And that the holiday one seems fun.
Yeah. They had, their bar was open. They had a whole bunch of hors d'oeuvres and like shrimp and stuffed mushrooms and veggie tray and all sorts of stuff. So it was very interesting.
So I would recommend, for everyone going to these networking events, of course, bring your business cards, kind of practice like, a 30-second pitch about, who you are, a little bit about Lawn Doctor, the services that you offer. And don't forget to kind of follow up with everybody you met. Kind of treat it like an interview. You follow up with them the next day. It was really great meeting with you. Again, maybe send them like a flyer or something about your services. I would go write them a Google review, in the hopes that maybe, they were coming back for you. And don't forget to follow up, because you're going to want to extend these relationships past just these networking events. If you're only touching base with them during the networking events, you're not going to get the most out of it. So kind of build those, relationships outside of the Chamber of Commerce as well.
Yeah.
So just follow up, I think, is really key to this tactic as well.
Absolutely.
Anybody else have anything to share regarding, Chamber of Commerce, how they're liking it so far? Any of these one-on-one meetings? Are people not liking the one-on-one meetings? And feel free, anything you want to talk about now. It's really just a collaborative space. Ask questions, learn from one another.
Hey, Chris, Josh Scott, I saw that you had that the band and the Christmas break. Did you set that up through the chambers, or how did you go about doing that?
Basically, I just knew that they were happening, so I contacted each individual city and got applications and submitted them myself. It was completely outside the Chamber of Commerce.
How did you feel about that, doing that?
I think it's great exposure. I've done 3 in the past week. I got 1 more to do tomorrow. I think it's great exposure and everything. It's not my ideal cup of tea riding in a parade, but I'm there for marketing, so I'll do whatever.
I got you.
Just going off of that, the Chamber of Commerce is a great way for you to find, not only events that the Chamber of Commerce themselves are hosting, but they also post about what the like things that are happening in the community. I would suggest definitely looking at a parade. Like Chris said, it's fairly easy. You know, you just really have to drive the vehicle down the parade route. Maybe one or two people to help pass things up, you know, along the side of the route. Very inexpensive, if not free. Some of them are typically, you know, don't cost anything or just ask for a donation. So now is a good time. I look for holiday parades. Everyone here is pretty much in the southern market, so it's a nice opportunity to get out. And then the community is definitely doing something in regards to the holiday. So definitely look at those opportunities and see if you can put yourself there.
Yeah, it was 3 of the 4 parades were free. One cost me $50, but that's in the biggest city, and had probably 20,000 people at this Christmas parade. So, and like I said, it was great exposure. I had a lot of positive comments along the route. People, you know, saying like it, like the thumb, you know, whatever. So it was definitely a positive experience.
Yeah, that's great. I think parades are extremely beneficial and one of the best ways, you know, to reach your target audience. You get a lot of eyes on that, you know, moving billboard that you've got there. That green thumb is very memorable. So if you can get that out there, you know, one Saturday morning or something, take that, you know, 3 or 4 hours in the morning to do a parade. I think that's a great idea. Okay, does anyone have any other questions regarding Chamber of Commerce? Okay, great. So let's just move on. I want to touch base quickly about what next week is, and the perfect transition, you know, from parades. Next week's topic is community events. So right now the objective really is to just identify 5 potential events in your area. It is not required that you have signed up or completed them yet, because I know we're kind of a little ahead of the season here, but just do some research, look for 5 events that you're interested in as well. Watch the events tutorial on that Lawn University, take the quiz, and please don't forget to fill out that tracking sheet. If you don't fill out the tracking sheet, you know, I don't know whether you've done it or not, and I can't, you know, put that data here on this slide. So I really want you guys to get credit for what you're doing each week, because I really do respect your time, and I know you're taking a lot of time to complete these marketing tactics. So please just fill out the tracking sheet so, you know, you can tell everybody that you did it. Things to look for in community events, a great place to start. Look at your Chamber of Commerce, see what they have on their calendar. Join your local community Facebook page. Kind of just do an easy Google search. Look for home and garden shows, parades. I really think you guys should look for now. You could type in like holiday, you know, seasonal festivals or something like that for this winter season, and just kind of jot them down, put them on your schedule, your calendar, as a potential interest. It's not no commitment, just identify 5 potential in your area.
Hey, Gabrielle, I got a question.
Sure.
Did you say go ahead?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
On the tracking sheet, is that a running total each week up to that point, or is it just for that specific week?
So actually, no, thank you for bringing that up. It is supposed to be a running total. However, there was a glitch here with the data. So for some reason, it kind of wiped it clean and only took a look at this week's. It is supposed to be a running total, so we are trying to get that data back. I do have my previous, you know, webinar slide, so I will be able to add it up. This is a running total because, you know, as we get through the season, you're going to have more and more, you know, of these one-on-one meetings that you're supposed to have. So it is a running total. Supposed to be. And also next week. Mm-hmm.
We're supposed to fill it out as a running total, or you're adding it up as we go?
Sorry, yeah. So I understand that was a little confusing. So you enter it as each week, and then when I show the data, it will be a running total. On our end, we're supposed to add it up. You enter it as just what you did per week, and we will be the ones adding it up on our end because we'll be showing, you know, cumulative data.
Okay.
Chris, does that clarify?
It does. Thank you.
And I kind of. And then just another thing I wanted to mention for everyone on this call right now, We will be starting our bi-weekly check-in calls, those, every 2-week calls alternating between myself and your RBC. We'll start those in January. So kind of just look, myself and your RBC will be reaching out to schedule those shortly. So just be on the lookout for those, either those phone calls or text messages.
Gabriella, our RBC calls us every 2 weeks anyway.
Okay, that's fine. That's perfect actually, and that's going to count as the every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Does he call you the same like time every week, that kind of thing? You guys have already a scheduled thing with him?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. You guys are all set then.
Okay. Can I also ask a question that's kind of like not part of the community events or anything, but next week I go in for knee surgery, so I'm kind of wanting to know what the thing is for next week so I can maybe even get a jump start on it.
Okay, it's community events is next week, and then the following week after that is parking. That's the, parking, permanent parking, parking your vehicle, in a high.
Yeah, we're already doing that.
Perfect. Good. That's what I like to hear. Okay, and don't forget, like I said before, we've talked to the state, we've talked about Google reviews, we've talked about BNI, and now Chamber of Commerce. So please, keep those in your rotation of your marketing responsibilities for each week. I know we do ask a lot. I totally understand that it will pay off, when you start wrapping up into that power window. The more people you get in touch with now, the more customers you interact with now through your marketing, the easier it will be for you to convert those people into customers. When that PPC, when the digital media starts really pushing it out there, all your efforts, all your hard work that you're doing here at Ground Game will pay off. Okay, thank you everybody for joining. If anyone has any other questions, please feel free to ask them now.
Great, thank you, Gabriella.
All right, thanks so much, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your holiday parties, everybody. Have fun.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Take care, everyone.